What's happening, guys? LightningSnow back today with another video. Today, I have my good friend Daigo Knight here with me. Say hey, everybody.
How's it going, everybody?
So, right off the bat, as I teased you all my videos of what I was going to do, today is the winner, Kakashi versus the Jinchuriki. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. So, right now, we're going into what we're going to do a gauntlet style, but now we kind of backtracked it because we feel like if it was like a survival, that Kakashi wouldn't get too far. He still performed pretty well. But I think what we're gonna do is gonna go each fight of the Jinchuriki with Kakashi at fresh max capacity, just to make it fair. And the second thing before we get started is that we are going to restrict Tail Beast mode because, again, in all fairness, if we get to these really hard, difficult battles with the Jinchuriki and then they just go ahead and hit the panic button and use their Tail Beast mode, Kakashi is going to be slaughtered. So.
And that's full tail beast mode, right? Not just the cloak, right?
Yeah, not just the
cloak's fair game, and version 2 as well.
Right. So no full tail beast mode, but we are giving the V2 cloak to each Jinchuriki that can reuse that respective cloak. So
and it's gonna be War Kakashi 1 Sharingan.
Right.
I think it's the very fair Kakashi to pick here.
Now, if y'all want me to. Yeah, no, absolutely. DMS would slaughter them all, probably all at the same time. But now, if y'all want me to do, because I've seen requests about Hokage Kakashi versus Jinchuriki the same way. If you want me to do that, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to do that too for another video. But today we're just focusing on War Arc. So, yeah, let's get right on into it. So War Arc Kakashi versus Gaara. Daigo, what do you think?
So I think Gaara is one of the difficult ones in this situation. He's not the most powerful when it comes to the tail inside of him because it's the one tail, but Gaara himself, pretty strong. At the beginning of Naruto Shippuden, he was giving Deidara a run for his money, and we saw how powerful Deidara was in the fight against Sasuke. So in the War Arc, when he's fighting against Madara and all that stuff, he has some very annoying abilities Kakashi will have to deal with. Very long-range attacks, and also those massive sand attacks that cover the entire forest or whatever they'll be fighting on, the pyramid. I think Kakashi, he has some trouble against Gaara here because he'll have to close the distance or try to snipe Gaara in the distance with Kamui, which is difficult. He kind of never does that again after Deidara.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, because the thing is I thought about this scenario because you're definitely right. Gaara, in my opinion, I think Gaara is one of the more capable Jinchurikis that are a lot more difficult to deal with. Not to say the other ones aren't, but I feel like aside from B and Naruto, Gaara is the next strongest in terms of just how hacks he is. But the thing is if we take the battle with Deidara into account, and let's say for some reason Gaara decides to play the safe game and tries to levitate in midair in that little sand dome or whatever that he has against Deidara, then that's going to be an easy snipe for War Arc Kakashi. I mean, that's just a sort of stationary, object floating in midair, and there is no way that thing is going to be able to, even if Gaara started moving around, there's no way that thing is faster than to Naruto, which Kakashi was able to snipe. So
yeah, maybe you can resist the snipe if you're an enemy. We don't know exactly how that works because Kakashi only ever tries that against Deidara, and then he tries it against the Geromazu, which is a stationary object, which is probably not as difficult.
No.
And again, he's sniping the Rasengan out of KCM, Naruto's hand, which definitely needs to be very precise. So.
Well, I was want to say that it's so crazy that when he did that, when he sniped away the clone, that Obito, who has the same Sharingan and a Renegon, did not even notice that Kakashi Kamui'd away, and it's Obito's own ability. It's Obito's own ability too. That's what makes it even more crazy. So just the fact that Gaara's gonna be floating kind of mid-air. If this Gaara decides to do that, now I think Gaara may try to just stay on the ground. But if, like you said, if Gaara tries to use long range and Kakashi has to close a distance, I mean Kakashi has some decent long range attacks too. I mean he's got.
But I think anything other than Kamui in long range, Gaara's probably going to tank that shield. I don't see something that powerful with Kakashi's arsenal except for Kamui and Raikiri. He has a lot of variety, but I think it's tough for him to do anything else against Gaara here.
I think I could see Headhunter Jutsu playing a decent role in this kind of fight. I know Gaara has a good control over the terrain, but I don't know. I feel like Kakashi might use that to his advantage. Use a couple clones. Use Headhunter Jutsu for any one of them, and I don't know, he might be able to move across the terrain underground and pop up and snipe Gaara.
He tried to do against the Tendo Pain.
And
that could be a thing if Gaara's not flying in the air.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing is if Kakashi has full knowledge. I mean, but at this point, if we're talking about War Kakashi, then he should have knowledge, at least fair knowledge.
Abilities.
Yeah, I'd say. So, I mean, and as we've seen, Kakashi with knowledge of the other person's abilities is very dangerous.
Oh yeah.
I would want to say that it wouldn't be too difficult for Kakashi. I mean, because Kakashi isn't really known to, have too harder times closing the distance on somebody. I mean, heck, the Diva Path, he freaking could almighty push him with no trouble at all, but somehow Kakashi was still able to, because of his quick thinking, was still able to close a distance and almost land a divisive blow. So I feel and that was with minimal help too. Choji and Choza barely did anything, and I feel like Kakashi, this Kakashi specifically, can make a battle plan with some clone and close the distance on Gaara too.
I think Kakashi has the edge here, but I think it's a high distance. Cause I don't think Gaara's arsenal fits well. Kakashi can do. Of course, he has Kamui, and he can probably use Kamui to do what he did with Madara's truth-seeking orbs and kind of snipe them away so that he can punch through Gaara's shield if he closed the distance.
I was just about to say that too. If he had to, he could just snipe away at a very. I mean, I honestly could see him just, again, like I said earlier, just sniping the whole freaking thing away. Honestly,
could be, yeah.
That whole dome.
War Kakashi, he gets pretty powerful with his There's a definitely power spike here.
I would say
I still think he wins that, but I think it's high difficulty because Gaara can distance and use massive attacks to fend off Kakashi. But I think Kakashi's strategy will also play a major role here, because Deidara outsmarting Gaara in the first fight they have there. But we see that Deidara's not dumb either. He had some interesting strategies against Sasuke.
Oh yeah, he definitely caught Sasuke.
Obviously more intelligent.
Oh yeah, Deidara caught Sasuke off guard a couple times. So I mean, he's not an idiot, but and sometimes
he's crazy, but he's not an idiot.
Yeah, he's definitely a lunatic. One thing I didn't think about though is, let's say, because we saw, now I don't want to put too much emphasis on this because it's a bit of a time gap, but let's say Gaara's sand shield, Sasuke in part 1 was able to penetrate with the Raikiri. Now again, that was a significant weaker Gaara, but this Kakashi's also a lot stronger than that Sasuke. So so let's say do you think?
I think it's fair to say that Raikiri would pierce through Gaara's shield, but I think Gaara can create such a thick shield nowadays that I don't think Kakashi's arm would reach him if that makes sense.
Well, I was thinking about what if Gaara decided to close it, encase himself in that dome or whatever.
Oh no, if he did that, he loses. If he stays still, Kakashi can also use Calm Snipe the shield away. I think Gaara would have to fly and move around, using his massive sand attack Kakashi away from him.
Right.
But I still think Kakashi takes it in the end, because Kamui is also way too powerful.
Oh yeah, I'd say he could probably just stay on the ground and just snipe him. Honestly, he probably just snipe him the whole dome away. I really think he could just snipe the whole freaking dome away. If he could snipe something up, he claimed that he was able to snipe at least one of the tail beast bombs away. So if that was even remotely close to true, then yeah, the dome's no problem. So yeah, I think Kakashi takes the win on that.
And he was pretty confident. When all those 5-tail beast bombs were being aimed at him, he was like, I'm gonna Kamui them away, all of them.
Yeah, he didn't even say I think. He's like, I'm gonna have to. I think I can do it. No, he's like, I'll do it, for sure. So
Kakashi takes it. I think it's a pretty difficult fight, but Kakashi has the edge here.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to Yugito, and it sucks because this kind of fight, the only real reference we can use for Yugito kind of happened sort of off screen. I mean, Kakuzu and Hidan fought her for a little bit, but unfortunately she didn't really use a whole, and I guess in the war arc she kind of fought a little bit too, but.
And if we are not using the full tail beast form, which we're not, then the fight against Kakuzu and Hidan is pretty much useless because they fought against two tails for most of the fight anyway, so the most we have is the fights and Naruto in the war arc.
And unfortunately,
she's definitely not weak. She clashes against B one time, and B is a pretty powerful and fast ninja. And she uses the rat pursuing jutsu, which it's an interesting jutsu, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah. So like I mean just in taijutsu alone, I think Kakashi edges her out. I mean,
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
I don't think because as far as defensive defense, I don't think Yugito has anything that Kakashi can't pierce through like with the Raikiri. So I honestly I don't want to sleep on Yugito, but I don't think he's even gonna need Kamui for her.
No, I don't think
Uh,
like
I
Kakashi's kind of easy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm sexist now. I'm not sexist. I'm just saying like Yugito, I just she doesn't have too many feats in the series, unfortunately, and again I
And
can't.
she didn't do that well against Naruto and B.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
there were other Jinchurikis in that fight that did much better.
Yeah. So, and like I said, that's why I'm saying like Gaara, I feel like is more capable than most of this Jinchuriki themselves because I can't see Yugito really putting up a good fight. I don't even know what rank she was in the series, but I'm pretty sure she was at least
No,
Jonin.
she was a Jonin.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and Kakashi at this point is like Kage level. I mean, so
Yeah,
so
easily.
so yeah, like I don't want to spend too much time on Yugito, but I also don't want to sleep on her and say like she's useless. But I think Kakashi takes this.
Mm-hmm.
So now we go on to Yagura, and this one's kind of interesting, but again, like with Yugito, Yagura doesn't have feet.
I think this is a much more interesting fight than Yugito because, well, we do see a couple of things that Yagura did in that fight against B and Naruto. The first thing is that he uses that mirror that creates clones of Naruto and B that kind of stalemate their jutsus. Like, he creates Naruto with a Rasengan,
Yeah, true.
and they stalemate each other. That's pretty
That
crazy.
that is something. Yeah, that is pretty. But like, I mean,
And then also he tags KCM2 with his version 2 cloak and creates those corals that make Naruto get stuck.
That is
and
true.
Guy and Kakashi, they have to come and save him. So he does have some interesting jutsu. I think this is a much tougher fight for Kakashi than Yugito.
so do you think that like Yagura has a chance to take Kakashi out?
I mean, we don't know how smart he is. He definitely has some knowledge about the battlefield and stuff because he is a Kage after all, but I don't think he is smarter than Kakashi, and Kakashi has a lot of power. I mean, he could use his mirror jutsu if Kakashi comes with a Chidori, because if it could do that against KCM1, Naruto, and B, it's pretty likely that he will be able to react to Kakashi coming at him, but I mean, Kakashi has more stuff to do than just the Raikiri. He has the common.
Honestly,
All of those 1,000 jutsus.
well, honestly, here's something that I don't want to say this is for sure because I know that Jinchuriki are like perfect Jinchuriki are, and I don't know if Yagura is or isn't a perfect Jinchuriki, like for certainty, but
Yeah, the data book says he can control the tail beast perfectly, but we don't know if Ren did. It's very
Right.
likely that he didn't.
right, because I mean most of the tail beasts, like it's more than likely they're not all friends with their host like right off the bat. So, my point in saying that was like honestly, I know it's not his specialty, but we saw that Yagura is susceptible to being put under Genjutsu. So
Yeah.
even if it's just for a split second, Kakashi might be able to put him under a Genjutsu long enough for him to get a Kamui snipe.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good indication that he wasn't a perfect Jinchuriki, because otherwise the Three Tails would have snapped him out of it.
yeah,
But yeah, that's a possibility here. Kakashi has Genjutsu. He doesn't really use it all that much, but it's a possibility.
so we don't really see like Obito using it all that much either, but we've seen that when he does use it, he's pretty proficient with it. So
Oh yeah, and then in the fight between Kakashi and Obito, they were like casting Genjutsu against each other, and they were pretty much equal.
I would say so.
Pretty insane if you think about it.
I'm about to say like
So-
the indication is that they were equal and that they were like constantly going back and forth. So like the fact that Kakashi was equal in Genjutsu to Obito, who was able to put Yagura under a like speaks to something in my opinion. Like.
Yeah.
So I think, and even if like let's say for a split second that if it was even just a split second, like let's say for example if it was just as long as when Sasuke put B under a temporary Genjutsu, like that was long enough for Kakashi to probably land a Kamui snipe on
Or
Yagura.
Raikiri or something.
Yeah, or Raikiri, yeah. So I mean,
And I think, yeah, about the version 2 cloaks stuff, we are allowing the version 2
true,
cloak.
yeah.
But we didn't talk about Yugito, about her version 2, because I don't think it's that relevant. But we can see Kakashi was actually dealing with the version Shuriki relatively fine in the war arc when him and Guy, they go and fight against them. Kakashi's using his Raikiri, his like clashing taijutsu attacks against them. And then if you roll back to the Tenchi Bridge arc, when we Four Tails version 2 Naruto, he was like punching the forest away and opening a massive crater, and Kakashi's like casually swapping hands with them now.
Well, just as a good reference point, because like freaking during the first the Kazekage Rescue arc, when he saw the Three Tails emerge from Naruto, like Kakashi was crapping a brick, but now
it was Two Tails. There was actually Two Tails.
Oh, Two Tails. Okay, yeah. So he was just to the Two Tails. He saw the Two Tails. He was literally crapping a brick, and now he's going head first and charging and swapping hands with them. So like he is a completely different. Like Kakashi had no qualms about going in full force with these Jinchuriki. So like
also he does the lightning cable to counter like I think 4 of them at the same time when they use the extended limbs and stuff.
And does lethal damage too. Like he actually something that Orochimaru could like barely do against Naruto. You know what I'm saying? So like so yeah, I don't see, Yagura's B2 doing much more than Yagura himself would probably do.
Yeah. But I think it's definitely more difficult than Yugito.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to sleep on Yagura either because he's a Kage. So like, I mean, he's he's packing something. But honestly, like, and I don't see Kakashi straight up going for Genjutsu right away. But I feel as though if it came to that, like, it would be long enough to land a Raikiri or a Kama. So, you'd be taking like what, like. Kakashi probably take that mid-diff?
Mid-diff. I think mid. Okay. Maybe high-diff, depending on how the fight goes. But
I think if he gets the V2, then yeah, it'll probably high-diff. But I think still Kakashi take. So now we go on to the Four Tails, and that is Son Goku, right? Or is that...
Yeah, Roshi.
Roshi, yeah. So, you know what? I mean, I don't know.
Roshi, I think he's actually pretty powerful because
he is.
In the war, he was clashing against KCM2 Naruto. And he seemed to be pretty relative to him in speed because they were like clashing. And then he was burning. It was KCM1 actually.
Yeah.
But he was burning KCM1 and then Naruto landed a Rasengan on him. And the Rasengan, it wasn't really doing too much damage. He was trying to destroy the receptor, the chakra on Roshi's body. And like he wasn't doing it. The Rasengan wasn't doing damage to him, and he was damaging Naruto instead.
Yeah.
So and Lava Style is pretty powerful.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Roshi, I think he's a bigger deal than people may think. I mean, especially now with the Minato spin-off manga, we see he could use a Four Tails chakra avatar, kind of like how Naruto used.
Yeah. So I mean, if we go off that now, then I think I don't want to say Kakashi outright loses, but
tough fight.
It is a very tough fight. I mean,
and we see that he can manifest a chakra avatar. I don't know if we're counting this in because we're excluding the full Biju mode, but he can make that avatar and use Tail Beast Bomb. Naruto wasn't able to do that in KCM1, and Roshi could.
But if we taken that into account, though, because I mean, this Kakashi, I feel like
he was confident in Kamui in a way that Biju dominant.
Yeah,
there's that.
Well, not even that. Like, it's like one of those things where you really have to like remember how like efficient Kakashi is with Kamui, because like that freaking whenever that Ten Tails Madara like scuffle went down where Obito was trying to get away or whatever, and Minato, Gaara, Kakashi, and all of them had a plan to try to stop Madara like in his tracks, and Madara just chopped Minato's arm off and kicked the Rasengan towards Kakashi, and we as the audience, we as the audience thought he got hit with it, but he like off screen like Kamui away like without anybody else noticing. So it's like
the same thing happened with a nail with Pain.
Yeah, Pain was like for sure thought he was dead even after the nail. So it's like I don't know. When it comes to even Tail Beast Bombs, I just can't. I think Kakashi's reaction time is seriously slept on. I don't think many people just realize like how Kamui's are, especially if he's starting off the fight with like max chakra like available. Then I think he's got plenty to work with to where like even Roshi's Tail Beast Bomb proficiency won't matter too much.
And he should probably have a better reaction time than Roshi, because we have to also be fair here. Those Tail Beasts, not Tail Beasts, but the Jinchurikis that Obito was using, they had a Rinnegan and a Sharingan. They wouldn't have that as a live versions of them.
Right.
They were Edo Tensei, and Edo Tensei bodies, they are weaker physically, but they were also amped by a Sharingan and a Rinnegan.
And their field of vision was extended too.
Yeah.
By each other. So like, and the thing is, like, a lot of people tend to forget this too, but Kakashi's almost his entire life with two of the fastest ninja of all time, one being Guy and the other one being, of course, Minato himself. So I've always like obviously Kakashi's not a speedster per se, but he's got to be pretty fast, and his reaction time is nothing to sleep on. So I think with most of these attacks, while Roshi is dangerous, when it comes to like beating Kakashi in a battle of speed, there's not many people that can get the jump on. So like I mean I don't want to sleep on Roshi either, but I just don't think he has anything that in his arsenal that can be able to touch Kakashi.
Yeah, maybe you could argue a massive magma style jutsu. He does that against the A-Tails in the fight, but I still Kakashi can probably deal with that. Water style should be a deterrent, if nothing else. I mean, he also has Kamui and stuff like that.
Well, I don't want to. I know I keep saying like Kamui for everything, but it's like I can't help it. Like it's that like tough of a jutsu. But I mean, his water style could be just how he was like winning the Kakazu fight. Because I mean, Kakazu had like fire enhanced with wind change and chakra nature, which was like, and Kakashi's like, well, normal water style isn't gonna be enough to just cancel out that, but it held off long enough for him to do something, to react.
Yeah.
So I feel like that might be the case here too. Like his water style might be proficient enough to like buy him some time in order to get away, and then maybe do a Kamui or a Raikiri. You know what I'm saying? And not even that though. Like I was gonna bring this up too in the Gaara fight. Kakashi, I keep forgetting Kakashi has that long range lightning fang too.
Oh, the Hound.
So
I mean, yeah, that's true. I think it's not the fastest jutsu though. He only uses that once, and he encounters it, so we never see how it interacted with other combatants.
Which sucks because I think that jutsu looks clean.
Yeah,
but
it looks great.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like say like Roshi tries to use his lava style, and Kakashi puts like a water wall, right? Kakashi, while it may not like cancel it out or whatever, it might buy him some time for him to jump back and launch a lightning fang towards Roshi, or again Kamui. So like I feel like Kakashi has options to deal with something like that.
Yeah.
So
I think this one may be harder than Yagura because of the new chakra avatar we saw in the Minato manga, but I think Kakashi still takes it.
High diff.
Yeah.
Like, and I would want to say the same thing about his V2 cloak too. Like, even if cloak, I feel like I feel like if you went V2 cloak, it might be a little bit easier because I feel like once they go V2 cloak,
they go insane.
Well, that too, but like their
tactics.
I would say that too, and their abilities kind of become restricted, right? Like they don't really use a lot of their respective like chakra nature.
No, he used lava style with the V2.
Oh, that's right.
But
that is right.
That may be because Obito was controlling him.
Right.
We don't know if he could do that when he was alive. Maybe.
Right. But I was just saying, like,
probably not actually, because he definitely was not they weren't friends.
True. Yeah. Well, I guess for the sake of this one, we'd probably say he can't, because they go insane, right? Or they lose some sign of kind of their composure or whatever. So they probably wouldn't use it. I'm not saying they can't use it, but they probably wouldn't use it as much.
Right.
So yeah, I think Kakashi take this high dip. Now we go into Utakata and Han. You want to take the reign on this one? I'm not really a big Han fan. I'll be honest with you. Like I
like Han. I kind of like Han. I really like the Five Tails, but we're not using the Five Tails the full form here. But Han landed a very clean kick to KCM1 Naruto.
He did.
Granted, like Naruto was focused on Roshi and trying to destroy his rod, Roshi's rod. Maybe he was caught off guard, but Steam style makes you go very fast.
Yeah.
It could be dangerous for Kakashi. I don't think it would be, a complete stomp Kakashi here. Style is powerful. It's a KK Genkai. He tagged KCM1 out. Granted, that's the only thing he did in that fight that it didn't involve his tail beast form.
Right. Do you think do you think Han's Steam style makes him faster than 6th or 7th gate guy?
Nah. I highly doubt that.
Okay, so like
Kakashi was capable against that. In the war, he was kind of fighting alongside him.
I was gonna say, even if people want to say that Kakashi's not like as like capable as like even 7th gate guy, even like 6th gate guy is pretty freaking fast. So
I think 6th gate guy is probably Kakashi's top speed. I would say. I don't think he's as fast as 7th gate guy.
At least with the reaction time. Like I don't know about.
Oh yeah, reaction time is probably better than that, but sheer.
Yeah. So I'd say like they're around 5th or 6th gate guy. I feel like about this.
Though Han could also use the chakra avatar of the Naruto manga.
Yep.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But the same thing kind of applies.
Right.
Kakashi could calmly to beat you down my way.
Well, and yeah, I think. Well, honestly, I think personally, I feel like. Well, no, I wasn't gonna say at first. I feel like personally, I'd give Han like the better chance of him like speed blitzing Kakashi rather than charging up a tail beast bomb and trying to hit Kakashi with it, because by that point Kakashi's gonna notice it and like, oh, Kamui, bye. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, and not that it takes too long to charge up a tail beast bomb, especially like depending on how big you're gonna make it, but still like,
right, yeah,
Kakashi's gonna notice that right away, as opposed to like trying to speed blitz someone with a kick. You know what I'm saying? But like we said, like it wouldn't be any different than like 6th gate or 7th gate guy trying to dynamic entry Kakashi, and
I mean, he did blitz Jiraiya in part 1 in base with a dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and and that's what I'm saying is like Kakashi's. I don't want to sound redundant, but I don't know. Y'all just cannot sleep on Kakashi's reaction time. It is I mean,
yeah, and the thing is, like, he doesn't have a lot of feats, Han.
Yeah.
The best feat he has is his tail, doing the horn attack on the 8 tails, which actually messes up the 8 tails a lot, but, well, we're not counting the tail beast form. And Kakashi takes this one. I think it's less difficult than Roshi.
Yeah.
And also less difficult than Yagura.
Well, that's the thing, too, is, like, if you need... To me, I think probably the best feat that Kakashi has with Kamui is before the War arc, during the 5 Kage 7 arc, where he's not as proficient with it, when he teleported Sasuke's Susanoo era at point-blank range. And that was, like, what? Like, maybe 20 feet away? Like, maybe a little bit further? I don't know. I mean,
yeah, maybe a little bit further, but Danzo wasn't able to react to that very well at all from a longer distance.
Yeah. And that not even that, but that was the first time Kakashi ever seen a Susanoo, too. So, like, the surprise of seeing it...
Well, that's true.
And he still had time to activate...
As far as we know.
Yeah. I mean, he still knew what it was, but, like... Again, I'm pretty sure that was his first time ever seeing. So, like...
Definitely the first time seeing the Susanoo arrow.
Yeah. So, like, he still had enough time to activate his Manku Sharingan and then Kamui before he got hit. Like, that's crazy. So, I can't see Han moving, like, that much fast. And that's definitely a smaller target. So...
No, granted, Kakashi is physically fast. Kamui's for sure, because otherwise he would have dodged the Susanoo arrow.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But he can definitely... react. Han does.
Yeah.
I don't see Han consistently speed blitzing Kakashi anymore.
Yeah. So like Kakashi should be used to fast-paced combat by this point in his life, like without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I don't want to sleep on Han, but like you said, I think it's a lot easier than not a lot easier, but I think it is easier than. So yeah, that's all I got for Han. Unless you got anything.
Yeah, no, that's it.
All
he
right.
doesn't have a lot of feats.
Yeah, it sucks, but yeah. Now we go into Utakata. Now. I will say
Utakata sucks, dude.
He does. I hate playing him in Storm 4. Oh, he's so annoying. But I hate playing against him in Storm 4. If anyone ever plays me in Storm 4, don't use Utakata. I will rage quit.
I don't even remember what he does in Storm 4.
Oh, he just blows bubbles.
Like bubbles.
Yeah.
Bubbles.
All he does. I'm like, bro, like, come on now. Like, although to be fair, now it kind of applies to this because like when I play Storm 4, I use Kakashi a lot. So if someone's playing Utakata against me, and all I was going to do is blow bubbles, I'm going to use the long-range Kamui on you, and I'm going to just ultimate jutsu you. So, I feel like that might apply here, too. Like, honestly, if Utakata starts using bubbles...
Kakashi wouldn't even need to use Kamui against Utakata.
No, I don't think so either. I just think it'd be funny if he just, like, started blowing bubbles. Like, I was just like, bro, I'm not even going to waste my effort. Just go ahead and...
I mean... Like, we have that filler fight against Pain, like Utakata versus Pain. I think he destroys 3-Path with his version 2 cloak, which, like, it's kind of impressive.
Yeah, I am not going to sleep on him, but, like, weren't they, like, the weaker paths, or were they the strong?
Yeah, he didn't do anything against Tendo.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
And Utakata has that weird thing with his version 2 cloak where it goes like that, and he gets all quickly and stuff. Well, like... Kakashi was also fighting against him in version 2.
Relatively easy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, people can say all they want, but again, like we said earlier, Kakashi went from crapping a brick to a 2-tails to literally just charging head first without any concern. And still coming out of with, like barely any scuffle on his end. Like I don't think Kakashi had so much as a scratch from that scuffle with the tails.
Yeah, I think the first time he gets scratched when Obito does that X thing with the shuriken on his chest.
I would say, and at worst, he gets like maybe a couple punches in from Obito, but...
Yeah, he did get punched and tailed by the version 2 cloaks there, but like it didn't do anything to him. It was like just a taijutsu exchange.
Yeah. And so, like, honestly, Kakashi was more worried about his chakra running low than worried about getting damaged from the Jinchuriki. So, like, if that says anything, like I said, I don't want to sleep on Utakata. I know,
Those bubbles. Like, what's he gonna do with it? They're slow.
Yeah,
like Kakashi.
I know.
Like, I don't like Utakata like at all.
I don't either. I don't want to hate on him, but like, I mean, there are definitely more characters that deserve hate. But like, yeah, he blows bubbles, and Kakashi could literally just headhunter jutsu like to him and literally just Kamui, or not Kamui, but right, and it's game over. Like,
I think Utakata is definitely the weak.
As far as Jinchuriki, like, yeah, I
not the tail beast.
No,
itself,
not
but the
Jinchuriki, yeah. Plus, he's not. I mean, I don't think he's that smart either. Like, I'm not saying he's an idiot, but I don't think he doesn't have.
I watched the filler arc with him a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't think I finished it. I think I watched it as it was coming out, which was like 14 years ago.
I tried to get into
it. I don't remember very well what happened in that arc.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know.
We'll say, like, at the very worst, Kakashi would in the biggest respect to Utakata, Kakashi would take it mid-diff. But
I wouldn't even say that.
That's kind of me being generous to Utakata, though.
Yeah, definitely generous.
So now we go on to Fu. And Fu's spontaneous. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously I think Kakashi takes it, but like.
Like, he also doesn't have a whole lot of feats. She has that jutsu that blinds you, which is good against a Sharingan user.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And so if Kakashi has,
again, I don't think Kakashi would even fall for that.
Well, Fu would probably be one of those people that would not like she'd probably be more susceptible than anybody to fall under a Genjutsu. So
that's fair. Wasn't she a Genin back in the day? Like, before she died, she was in the filler arc.
Yeah, she was.
Exam,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, she was only a Genin too.
So, yeah, she was a Genin.
Yeah.
She was definitely being very much amped by Obito there with the Rinnegan and the Sharingan. Like,
as far as her own skills, though,
she probably just kind of blitzed
if
they're fighting their live versions. I mean, she can fly too with her wings there.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but like Kakashi, like even like let's say if that blind thing happens, like she's blind to Kakashi for a minute. Like Kakashi has a sharp sense of smell. Like, I mean, he has other senses. Yeah. Like, he's a Jonin, and he's like he's been
and like B countered that jutsu with sunglasses.
Yeah, for real. Or, you know what, like, he could use the dog. Like, I keep forgetting he has hounds. Like, yeah, they're not going to be, like, a total help with all these battles, but he still can use them for any kind of, like, distraction.
For a couple of them, I think they could be very useful. Like, they were very useful against Zabuza, and Zabuza could probably take a couple of these Jinchuriki. Like, now, granted, Kakashi was no-diffing Zabuza in the war arc.
Yeah.
Like, completely no-diffing him, but...
Yeah, but these, like, Zabuza is still no joke, though. Like, I mean, as far as Jonin go, like, he was a tough Jonin, and they held him down, so, like... And these dogs are smart. Like, I think where they excel at isn't really in raw strength, at least not individually. But I think they're smart and quick enough to be distractions.
And when they swarm in, it's really tough.
So, I think honestly,
like what does she have? It's only the blinding jutsu, and that's a strength. So no diff, Kakashi.
Yeah, we'll go ahead.
Actually, Fu's probably the weakest one, not Utakata, but I don't like Utakata. So
Okay. All right, yeah. I like Fu. I like Fu's personality, though. I think she's kind of chill.
Oh yeah, she's cool. I don't like Utakata.
Yeah. So now we get on to the Rockstar rapper B. And this is where it gets kind of tricky. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, cause like I love my man B, but at full power if it's just the Jinchuriki, like if it's just B, I think at max power, I think Kakashi. I don't know, like.
Yeah, we are giving version 2, so like. B has a very powerful version 2 with 8 tails and a bone, which is very powerful. I think he's definitely faster than Kakashi.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
like B's best feats are when he's tail beast mode, and he usually just goes straight full tail beast.
Yeah,
he doesn't stay in his human form very long at all. Help it. Like the only time he uses version 2 is against Kisame, and that's because he didn't want to go full tail beast because he wanted to hide from the Raikage.
Yeah,
and Kisame kind of fondles him with a version 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, because, like, what, in the Sasuke fight, he didn't use the version 2. He used, like, the version 1 cloak.
Yeah.
Right? And then...
And Sasuke dodged it. Sasuke was literally caught off guard by the
Yeah.
Lariat, but Sasuke was also hit by the swords when B was
Right.
Um,
Well, like B was about to charge at Sasuke, and Sasuke hit him with a genjutsu real quick, right? And that's like kind of like
right.
distract. It took.
And then he fell down because,
Uh-huh.
well, he was affected by the genjutsu until the Eight Tails broke him out of it.
Right. Well, so like let's say like if that were to happen with Kakashi in his place, this Kakashi in his place, like instead of Gen, like Kakashi would have time to Kamui B completely.
Maybe. He never does that though.
Well, so
like,
what?
it's difficult to say.
Well, that's what brings me back to the Susanoo arrow, because like if he was able to do that with a Susanoo arrow, then B's definitely the size of a Susanoo arrow compared to B.
I just think that maybe someone that has chakra could be more difficult to teleport in of itself. I don't know. It's my headcanon as to why Kakashi doesn't use that all the time.
Well, I feel like if Kakashi can teleport a whole suicide bomb away, then I feel like just teleporting B's body away shouldn't be too much of an issue. Like I just feel like if we see Kakashi being able to teleport stuff that's like freaking huge in scale and like seriously fast, I feel like someone like B, like because again he was able to teleport Naruto's clone, and
yeah, he teleported the tail of the Eight Tails as well.
So I feel like if it was War Arc Kakashi's in Sasuke's place when they fought, then instead of using a genjutsu, like he could just use Kamui and just Kamui like right away. Or worst case, like he can use a genjutsu real quick, like the same way Sasuke did, and then while B's on the ground for that split second, just Kamui.
The thing is, yeah, maybe Kamui is probably the only thing Kakashi can do here because we B tanking Sasuke's Chidori pretty well in base.
Yeah,
which is pretty insane if you think of it. Like Sasuke hits him with a Chidori and it doesn't even make him bleed.
Yeah.
Now maybe you could be saying Sasuke wasn't going for the kill because they were trying to capture him, shot him instead of piercing him with it.
Right.
Like we just don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean,
so what do you think?
You know what? I don't know. It sucks because like as far as raw power, like Kakashi doesn't have too much that like aside from Raikiri, like if he were like pierce B himself without any like the cloak on him, then I feel like it should be able to do some lethal damage. But other than that,
yeah,
well, I don't know.
Kamui probably.
I would say maybe I'm overestimating B's like durability, like without him using the cloak or whatever. Like maybe I'm overestimating B's like base durability, because I feel like most jutsus should be able to like do some serious damage if the right person hits him with it. You know what I'm saying? Like can you see like a base B completely taking a Chidori from
It
Kakashi?
did tank Sasuke's, like it didn't pierce his.
Yeah, I know, but
that
like,
was because Sasuke was like holding back to it. Just
Well, where did Sasuke hit him at? Did he hit him like
at the chest?
Chest?
Like,
okay, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Then maybe, yeah. Okay, maybe I'm sleeping on B's durability. I feel bad about B, because I feel like I always feel like B is so much more durable when he's in his cloaks or in his. I'm used to when I see B fight, I'm usually used to seeing him in the Eight Tails form. So it's like,
yeah, that's true. Kisame did pierce him with his spikes in the water orb. Oh, and that pierced him through.
Yeah. At max chakra, like Kakashi has reserves of Kamui ready to go. And that's where like I don't want to sleep on B. I think this is a tough match either way, but the fact that Kakashi's able to keep up with insanely fast people and objects and still Kamui them away, I mean, I don't know. I can't.
And B does have the Bijudama as well, and when he is in like base, he can use extended limbs and tentacles of the Eight Tails, which could help him out.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely a high difficulty fight, regardless of the winner.
Oh, my goodness,
I'm pretty conflicted about this one.
I'm almost scared to even give an answer on this one. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Kakashi may take it because of the strategy. Because B is not very strategic.
No, he's not.
He's actually probably one of the characters that care the least about strategy in the entire series.
Now maybe
Kakashi is really strategic.
Maybe Gyuki might have some insight.
True.
Because they're actually.
She's actually the strategist. Like he's telling me, yeah, B, just don't do that.
Yeah, I think if I were to do this on a regular like 1 to 10, I probably would give it. Crap, man, I don't know. I'd probably give it to B like 7 out of 10 times. Like, yeah, because
that's probably fair.
Maybe 6
I
out
can
of 10.
see that because like Kakashi would have to use Kamui, and if B manages to outlast that and like stay out of the way, because Kakashi, yeah, sure, Kamui it gets to a point like his Kamui to now into the Kamui dimension, but he never does that against an anime. Now maybe that's because he was only fighting against Obito, who literally counter that, but
Yeah.
again, there was Madara afterwards. Why didn't he just Kamui Madara when he was on top of Ten Tails?
Well, I think
maybe because Kabuto could Kamui him back into reality.
Yeah.
So there's, like, maybe Kakashi just never really had a good chance to come.
Well, that's the thing. Like, because compared to everybody else below B, like B has, or aside from Naruto, the best chance of being able to avoid Kamui. You know.
Yeah, through speed.
Yeah. So
I think like it's probably one of those Amaterasu circumstances. You have to be really fast to avoid it, and I think B definitely is. And because, well, Naruto, that KCM2 clone, he was willing to be Kamui'd in my dimension. He kind of let himself be Kamui'd without resisting, so it's much easier for Kakashi. But if it's somebody resisting it, it gets tougher.
Yeah. It's just one of the
Especially because people can change direction, like Sano Arrow. That's it's coming in one particular match. So
yeah, I'm sticking with 6 to 7 out of 10 B take.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Like, it's definitely a high diff on both ends. I think just B just has like a better chance of avoiding it, and if he can outlast it, then yeah, Kakashi's in trouble. So
yeah.
So now we'll move on to the big boy, Naruto Uzumaki, and I honestly think this is.
Are we doing KCM 1 or 2?
We'll do 2. We'll do KCM.
Oh no, I mean KCM 2 is.
Yeah, for real. Like, I guess we could do KCM 1 then, just for the sake of fairness.
KCM 2 is like, it's not even fair for Kakashi.
Yeah, no. I mean,
but I think KCM 1, like, Kakashi still. It's not going to do very well, but he can at least fight again.
Like, it would honestly be the same thing as B as far as, like, even trying to get Kamui off. Like,
I think it would be more difficult.
Yeah, because
Naruto is faster than B.
Well, not only that, but
and Naruto has more variety to his arsenal. Like, he can extend his limbs, use a billion types of Rasengan, Rasen Shuriken. Like, sure, Kakashi could definitely Kamui or Rasen Shuriken away. Like,
well, it's not even.
When it comes to Taijutsu.
Well, it's not even that. Like,
tough.
Like, unlike everybody else below this list. Like, unlike everyone's below Naruto knows what Kamui. So, like,
right.
So he might have a better. Like I say, even that alone gives him a better edge on being able to avoid it. Now, granted, like, I don't think even Naruto knew how fast Kakashi was with Kamui in the War Arc, but until he actually was like, hey, like, I can do this now, like, on the fly. But even still, though, yeah, I don't think Kakashi's going to be able to successfully. I mean, he might.
Like KCM 1 can already create, like, a lot of clones that are
super clones, like super clones.
Swarm Kakashi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who can all use, like, 200 clones on their own. Like, one super clone was able to make 200 shadow clones. So I'm like, yeah, there ain't no way. I mean, his best chance would have to, like, get a surefire, like, Kamui. Like, I'm talking, like,
you would have to write for Kakashi to win this. You'd have to write it in like a ridiculous way, kind of like Batman style. Like,
for real,
complete planned out everything with a billion steps that Kakashi has to do in order to win, like in a very specific sequence.
Yeah.
It still probably feel weird. Like, it doesn't make sense.
In fairness to Kakashi, I'll probably give him like a 1 or 2 out of 10, like maybe, like, if that. Cause I mean, Kakashi knows how Naruto fights too. Like
if we just limit Naruto to like 4 clones max in that state, which is, it seems to be what he's using against Obito anyway.
Right.
He's probably running out of chakra. I think then you could say maybe, but if Naruto's fresh and he can create like 1,000 clones like he did before, sending them to every single battlefield in the war, then there's no way.
Yeah, it's a done deal at that point, honestly, because, I mean, I love Kakashi, and I love this version because this is where we start really... This is, like, War Arc Kakashi was the ideal version of what I thought he was always capable of without his restrictions. So it's like...
Right.
It was a treat for me to finally see him, like see what he was really capable of at full... like max.
And DMS, I think DMS just like a little bit too.
No, I totally agree. But like, hey, look, man, I thought it was so cool that I didn't care. Like, bro, like, I won't lie to you. Like, when I was watching it, I was scratching my head. Trust me, even as a Kakashi super fan, I was scratching my head but I was like, bro, this is so cool. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care right now. Like, yeah. So yeah, we'll give it to Naruto, obviously, but I think Kakashi has like a slight edge and, well, slight lucky shot. Like, he has that Kakashi luck that he might pull out like 1 out of 10. He might pull it off, but that's about it. So yeah, that about does it. Daigo, unless you got anything.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, there are other Jinchurikis, but I think these are the main.
Yeah, this is the main one I'm gonna cover for this video because this video is.
Yeah, we saw how Kakashi did against Rin as a Three Tails Jinchuriki.
Yeah, well, man, look, we're gonna look. That's a little bit too soon.